So with the Resident Evil 4 remake basically all but confirmed, I wanted to kind of go over what people should expect from its release, what people want to see, what people hope isn't changed and stuff like that, and then obviously what I would probably is safe to assume will be in it at launch. Obviously no official confirmation, but through leaks and information all over the internet there is plenty of kind of ground to base a fact on that this is coming, whether it's next year or the year after. A lot of people say 2023 is the release, but then people have also said that RE9 is going to release in 2023, so who knows, it could be next year, which I feel like is most likely, or it could be the year after that. But either way, we're going to go over what you should expect, what would be nice to see, and what I think will probably be in it at launch. Obviously, if you're interested in Resident Evil 4, which I'm sure a lot of people are, this is the game in the series that is most highly regarded as the best one for most people. And I'm sure you're interested in the Resident Evil 4 remake. But either way, be sure to kind of leave your comments and thoughts down below, and let's get into it. So first and foremost, let's get into what to obviously expect from a remake of this game, and that is obviously a visual overhaul completely. Obviously it's going to look very, very nice, probably in the same kind of form of the 2 and the 3 remake running in the RE engine, which again, the detail in the RE engine is incredible. Everything looks nice. If you've played 7, if you've played 8, or you've played 2 and 3 remake, you'll know that the games are detailed quite intensely. There's a lot of detail in those games. And then probably after that, the most likely thing you'll see is the tank controls go to normal third-person controls, again, like how 2 and 3 are played, with the same kind of inventory. Actually no, maybe not the inventory. The inventory will probably stay the same. The attached case will remain how it is, I'm 100% sure about that. But the gameplay in terms of how you move and aim and shoot, that will probably change. I know that a lot of people kind of prefer how 4 plays right now, you know, in terms of the tank controls that it does have. They're not necessarily terrible, they're definitely manageable, and it kind of does add to the kind of style of the game. So I would probably say there could be an option to switch between tank controls and, you know, improved controls. That'd be nice to see. But for the most part, I would probably imagine that those controls are probably going to be gone if there isn't an option to switch between normal controls and tank controls. Now, this is a touching point for the 2 and the 3 remake that is quite prominent, more in the 3 remake than the 2 remake. But cut content from 4, it is a possibility. It is a possibility. I'm pretty sure from the RE2 remake there is some stuff cut. Not all of it. It's mostly there, but obviously 3 remake, again, kind of backstory for that, it was outsourced to a different studio. And, you know, yes, Capcom published it and kind of gave it the okay, but a lot of the game was missing. With Resident Evil 4, now that we're kind of aware that Capcom are fully under the control of this remake, they haven't outsourced it, they haven't done anything with a different studio, it's just they're making it, like the 2 remake, they did that themselves. And after the response of the 3 remake, I would imagine there's not really going to be any cut content in this game. There could be, obviously there could be, if it's, you know, not really necessary. But again, with how like highly regarded the game is, I would imagine they want to keep it as accurate as possible to the original, so probably no content will be cut from the game, I would imagine. I don't really see any issue points in the game that would need to be cut out, so I think we're in the clear for that for the most part. But yeah, that's probably what to kind of, you know, properly expect from a remake. Yeah, upgraded graphics, upgraded controls, hopefully a full game, and any, you know, DLC that was made for the game. Obviously you have the added DLC and the extra modes, I would imagine they would stay. And, you know, hopefully the Mercenaries mode as well. But, you know, that's general remake stuff. You know, you would expect everything to come back how it was, just, you know, visually and kind of performance-wise upgraded. But now we're going to go into what people want to see, like what the fans want to see in the game. And then we're going to go over my personal ideas of what could be in the game. Now, this is a kind of the more important thing people want the game to kind of keep in a remake. If you play Resident Evil 4, you'll know that it doesn't take itself too seriously. There's a lot of cheesy points in the game, and some of the voice lines are like ridiculous, but they're funny as well at the same time. They're super classic, and like they're all just great. And With a remake, you know, there's the possibility that the voice actors will change, because it's been years since this game was made, and with that, the actual dialogue could change as well, slightly. I don't know if they're going to make the game more serious in terms of tone, but a lot of people do want this game to kind of keep its style, keep its kind of like attitude, I guess, because the game is super cheesy, and there's plenty of moments in the game that are like over the top ridiculous and funny in terms of what you're doing and the voice lines and stuff like that, the dialogue between the characters. But with the change of voice actors and stuff like that, it is a possibility that could go away. I don't think it will. It will be interesting if they keep the dialogue 100% the same and then change the actors. It would still kind of have the charm because it's still got those voice lines and those moments, but the original voices being gone would be weird. Obviously, the best move is to keep the voice actors, or at the very least, port the audio. I don't know if that's even possible, or if that's even a thing you can do. But if you just keep the dialogue audio the same, yes, it would feel kind of out of place. You could maybe clean it up a little bit, but they want to probably keep that how it is because people love the dialogue in this game, and I am one of them. I think the game's hilarious for the most part, even if it is kind of a serious game in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which is honestly probably one of the best parts about it. Another thing that is kind of on people's minds, and this is since Village came out, they brought back the attach case system in Village, but it wasn't identical to 4. It was it had its own like visuals and how it worked, and it was very basic. Like essentially every weapon, ammo type, grenade, stuff like that, was just like a rectangle, and you would organise the rectangles to fit in. But in the 4 version, obviously you can see it now, everything kind of had its own shape, if that makes sense. Like the guns were shaped like guns. They would take up like 2 slots along vertically and then 2 horizontally as well, so you had to fit it in, rotating it around and stuff like that. That needs to stay, I think, because that's the original attach case system, and in a way, as much as I love Village, I think it's amazing, the attach case system in that is very simple compared to the one in this, and it would be interesting to see if, they're going to go with Village's version of attach case to make it more simple, or keep it how it was and just obviously visually update it and make it a bit more smooth to use. But who knows? Again, this is something that people want to see, and I think it would make sense to kind of keep the attach case system how it was, because it honestly, it looks cool, and the OCD on it is ridiculous. Like, you have to make sure everything looks perfect. The amount of time you are in a run just moving around ammo to line it all up with each other, or moving around your herbs to make them all kind of sit next to each other, is ridiculous. One thing I have seen people see about this game in terms of remake and the other two, like compared, if you've played the most recent releases, if you played 7, 8, 2 and 3 remake, you'll know that there is a pursuer enemy throughout a portion of the game. You've got Jack in 7, Nemesis in 3, Torrent in 2, and Dimitrescu in Village. People do like that, but people are wondering if that's going to be in this or not. The way I see it most working, at least in 4's kind of how 4 plays out, is have like the village chief guy in the first boss fight in the barn, have him kind of chase you around the first initial village area, because he kind of fits that kind of character style a little more. There could be that, or there could be later on in the game when he goes to the castle and Salazar has those like bodyguards. One of them doesn't really do anything throughout the entire game. Obviously one of them is a boss fight, but maybe have one of them follow you around the castle just to make it a bit more intense, because that castle is huge. Like, compared to the castle in Village, you're in it a lot more and there's a lot going on. And again, personally, as much as I praise Village for being a great game, the pursuer routes for Dimitrescu in that game are not very massive. Like, it's the main hall and a couple of the side rooms, and that's about it. you know, at least with, you know, the 2 remake, and even in a way the 3 remake, like, it was the whole RPD, or it was the whole streets in the Raccoon City area in the 3 remake. In this one, it was like 2 corridors, you know? And even in 7, like, it was essentially the whole house, apart from the basement area, you know? So, there could be a pursuer type enemy, it would most likely fit those 2 characters, but, again, I don't really feel it necessary, but we'll see, obviously. And then just quickly in terms of, you know, what I personally would like to see, a lot of what I want to see in this game, I've already mentioned, you know, obviously, visually updated, obviously. I'd like the game to keep some of its original charm with, like, the voice acting and the lines in the game, stuff like that. Attached case, yes, needs to stay how it is. Cut content, I don't really have any issues with any content that's in the game already. Like, I don't feel like any of it's unnecessary. They could change the fish fight though, that would be pretty cool. But, you know, that'll probably stay in too. If it's going to be different or not, I don't know, but it's probably the weaker part of the game, and it's very brief, so that's saying something. But, there's not really much, apart from what I've said and what people have said already, that I want to see added or changed in the game, because it's not my favourite in the series, but it's definitely up there. So, you know, what people have said, what realistically, at least, people have said, because some people have said some out of place things about the game, in terms of what they want to see in the remake and stuff like that. But, for the most part, I would say that most people's ideas and kind of lists of things they want to see changed, and what we already know is kind of a basis for a remake, is pretty good. So I don't really have anything really to add to anything I've already said. But obviously, if I could choose one thing only, it would be, I love the challenge system in the 2, 3, and 8 games, you know, where you have that challenge list that earns you, like, score you can use in a store, in the main menus, and the challenges are like, beat the game in this time, beat the game on this difficulty, beat the game using this only, and then extra things. I love that. So if they added that into the game, I would honestly be happy with it, because it adds so much more replayability anyway. Like, this game's reasonably replayable, especially with, like, the weapon variation and upgrading and stuff like that, and the achievements already exist. There's a lot of replayability here. I've played this game through a fair amount of times, but adding those challenges just adds a whole nother layer. Like, I've recently finished all of them, and I'm on, like, my 14th playthrough of Village. So that's the thing there, that's the whole point. So I definitely add some of those, but that's really the only thing I would say additionally compared to what other people have said already. But as always, you know, let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see in a 4 remake. If there's anything specific that any of you want to see, do let me know. And, you know, just have a discussion in the comments and stuff like that. Obviously I answer, you know, everything that comes up. So it'd be cool to have a discussion about this kind of thing. But the game is coming at some point. We'll just have to wait until we see it for real. But until then, this has been the video kind of going ideas over the game, what people want to see. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, go to leave a like, and again, leave some comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?